Trang Quynh, Making a Fool of the Eunuch Mandarin. By Vietnamese Folk Tales. Brought to you by TellStory.net, stories from around the world. Among the flatterers who surrounded Lord Trina's court, one eunuch Mandarin stood above the rest. He had a gift for telling the Lord whatever the Lord wished to hear, and the Lord rewarded him well for it. One of this man's habits was to visit the homes of scholars under the pretense of conversation, but what he was really after was their books. He would admire a title, find some excuse to borrow it, and then never return it. Quynh, who cared deeply about his books, grew to despise the man. One day, Quynh decided to set a trap. He took several sheets of blank paper and stitched them together to look like a proper book. The next time he spotted the eunuch making his way down the lane, Quynh sat by the window and pretended to read the thing with great concentration. The moment the man stepped inside, Quynh slipped the book behind his back. The eunuch's eyes went straight to it.
What were you reading just then?
Nothing. Just some nonsense I scribbled down. Not worth your time.
The more Quynh brushed it off, the more the man wanted it. He wheedled and pleaded, but Quynh held firm. Unable to get what he wanted, the eunuch went straight to the palace and whispered in Lord Trina's ear that Quynh was hiding some strange and remarkable book. Lord Trin summoned Quynh at once. On the road to the palace, Quynh guessed exactly what the summons was about. He sat down, opened the blank book, and quickly brushed a few lines of classical Chinese onto one of the pages. Then he sealed it in a locked box and carried it with him to court. When the Lord asked about the book, Quynh looked puzzled.
I have no special book, my lord. The eunuch must have been mistaken or perhaps making things up.
This only made the Lord more certain something was being hidden. He demanded to see the box Quynh had brought. Quynh hesitated, then reluctantly unlocked it and drew out a thin, plain-looking volume. The Lord took it and read.
The Lord asked the eunuch how to make bones into flutes, make bones into flutes. The eunuch kneels and replies, I sew finger hair, I sew finger hair.
Lord Trin turned the phrase over in his mind.
What does it mean?
It is a trivial thing, my lord. Hardly fit for your ears.
Tell me anyway.
Quynh gave the plain reading. The Lord asked the eunuch how to fashion flutes from bones. The eunuch says he sew the small hairs along the fingers. The Lord nodded slowly, then pressed further.
And what is the meaning beneath that?
Quynh smiled faintly but said nothing for a moment. Then, quietly,
If my lord wishes to know, read it backwards. But I must warn you, it comes out very crude indeed.
The Lord tried it. So did the eunuch standing nearby. What had looked like formal classical verse revealed itself, when read in reverse, as something thoroughly vulgar, a sharp, satirical jab at the eunuch. Lord Trin laughed and waved the book away.
Take it home, Quynh.
As Quynh stepped out of the palace gates, the eunuch hurried after him, face burning.
You went too far.
He hissed.
Mocking me in front of the Lord, that is disloyal. Shameless.
Quynh turned and replied calmly.
You say I am disloyal? Then what do you make of the palace eunuchs of the later Han dynasty? Besides, I had the book hidden away. It was you who kept flattering and pressing until it was brought out. Tell me honestly, whose fault is that?
The eunuch had nothing to say.